here with the energy high, and we're going to wrap this thing up with so much fun. All right. So let's do this. As many as you as I can see. If you're feeling good, and as many as you are in a place to do so, turn on your cameras. If you're feeling good, give me a thumbs up. If you're feeling good, we got lots of people feeling good. I see lots of thumbs going up. All right, good, good. Lots of thumbs up. Here's what I want to do. We just come across the weekend. We're starting out. We're Monday. We're the last week of 60 days to deals here. I want to hear what a win was for you this weekend. A win this weekend. So type it in the chat. What was a win? It can be I woke up, I worked out, I made my calls, I spent time with the kids, the grandkids, the parents, the siblings. What was a win this weekend? Could be for Mike, maybe I got a new doggy. No, I know you've had that one a while. So what's your win from the weekend? Lost a sale, but might have gained a buyer. Good. That's the power of being a CTG, a creative transaction genius. What's another win? What's a win? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Gained insights. Good. My dad and I toured a house we just bought. Good. Means you're making progress. Spent time with family and the grandkids. I like it. Did a walkthrough and hope to have a contract signed tomorrow. Let's go. I don't hope you get it signed. I'm certain you're going to get it signed. Beverly, you got this. All right. We got the wins coming in. Let's get 3 more wins. Oh, Justin got 3,500 likes on his TikTok live. Way to go, brother. That's a big win. 3 more wins. 3 more wins. Got to get 3 more wins. What's a win? Type it in. I'm looking at a floating duplex to purchase. Heck yeah. Way to go. All right. Found a potential field agent and a new possible acquisitionist to join the Zoom. Way to go. Made a lot of progress in communicating properly with my parents. Oh, I like that. Personal breakthrough. All right, this is good, guys. Way to go. So, energy is high, excitement is high, and more importantly, objective is that the bank account's rising because that's what follows. All right, so here's what I want to do today. Number one, I want to point out, and if you're taking notes, write this down. Who we're around determines what we accomplish. Who we're around determines what we accomplish. Now, I'm going to point out something. For somebody who thought, I've been around winners and it didn't help me do anything, you still got to put in the work, right? But what I am telling you is the same amount of work put in the proper direction can accomplish 10 times of that same amount of work put in the improper direction. I'm going to give you an example. Since I retired from fix and flipping, and I constantly talk about how that I want you to retire from fix and flipping if you want to. I could go flip a house. I could save myself $10,000 or more on labor by being there every single day because I used to do construction. I could build the walls. I could paint the walls. I could put the heat vents in. I could do it all. And yay, I could squeeze 10 grand more out of my little flip house. And I could feel good about myself. In fact, that's what I got giddy about when I first started fixing and flipping properties. I thought, oh my gosh, I've never made over 30 grand in a year. I could make double that on one deal. If I could just do 2 of these a year, I could be rich. And so I began to look at that work, right? 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. I could be here pounding out the nails. All I'd have to do is a couple Saturdays a year, go out and find some new deals, right? I could feel good. I can make 6 figures a year. Now, is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. Cool. If that's where you need to start, if you're looking at brand new, I'm not faulting you for that. But what I am saying is I could put in the same amount of work, probably less, but let's say it's the same amount of work, putting in a few more dials, hiring the work done if I am going to work on a property, or not doing the work at all and wholesaling or doing terms deals with the proper amount of knowledge, being around the right people. I could do 4 deals a month, same amount of work, difference of 2 properties a year or 48 properties a year. Is this making sense? Give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. So when I say being around the right people determines, it is the difference maker, right? Yes, you have to put in the work. It's just like going to the gym, right? You could go to the gym every day and sit on the weight bench for an hour texting your friends and not get a darn result. But I highly doubt you're going to put on your gym shoes and your gym clothes and drive to the gym and not at least walk a little while on the treadmill, right? So what is the thing that I can put in the effort that gets me the highest result? Write this down. Leverage is key. Now, I'm not just talking about debt, although I love good debt. Leverage is key when it comes to your time. What's the thing I can do that makes me the most amount of result? So, for example, I can sit here. Used to, I thought I did not have time to go to events. By golly, I got too many houses to buy to go be sitting around at these seminars. So I'd go to skip events because I'd sit at home and maybe lock up another deal. What I found was when I go to events, not only do I normally lock up more deals because I'm being around the right people and I'm having the right mindset, I can find some time in the evening or right before or right after to do the phone calls. So not only do I usually lock up more deals by going to events, but I found I might meet a lender who gives me a lot better rate. And I squeezed another 10 grand profit out of a deal just by making that connect, right? So now what I was looking at 40 hours a week doing for 6 months or 3 months, or do the math, 8 months, doesn't matter. One connection made me that same amount extra on the same freaking deal because I was in the right room, understanding the right things. Or maybe one person I met at the event then gave me a lead source that I didn't know about before. Or said, hey, let's JV up. I got more leads than I know what to do with. Can you call my leads for me? All right. So leverage is key. Figure out what your superpower is, what gets you the highest return, the highest result for the effort that you're putting out. So for all of you, I want you to identify right now, this is a little bit workshop style. I want you to identify right now one habit you can change this week. And I'm going to give you some examples. What's one habit? Some of you are already thinking of something. You can write it down. What's one habit you can change this week that would get you better results? Is it studying, knowing better? I have a special call today for all my Freedom Life and Boss Flow people where I'm going through how to drive a frenzy of buyers to your houses for sale. Is there one marketing strategy you could learn to get more buyers calling you, more sellers calling you? Is there one strategy? Is there one action you could take instead of going and organizing your desk for my organized people? Leave the desk unorganized this week and just pick up the frickin' phone and dial 10 extra sellers. Go get a check and then maybe hire someone to organize your desk for you. So what is that thing that you can do that gets you a better return? Is it one more private lender? Saying, hey, I can't get private lenders. Cool, there's lots of money and there's lots of deals. So what's the missing piece? It would be the presentation or the offer. So what's one piece? Well, there's lots of deals, but I'm struggling to get leads. Cool, what's the missing piece? Where can I get leads? You say, man, I struggle to get on the phones. Cool, what's the missing piece? Is there an accountability partner? Could you connect with somebody on here and commit to them? You're going to do the call. What's that hot button for you? You know your hot button's better than anybody. So what's that one commitment you can make, right? Maybe you're like me and you love steak and you say, I'm not allowed to touch another steak until I've made 100 phone calls. And so you say, oh, crap. I want steak tonight. I better get on the freaking phones. I do these little things to myself. When I want to buy something, I will set myself a goal. I'm not allowed to buy this for myself. I'm not allowed to enjoy this thing until I do X. Why? Because I'm holding myself accountable. So what is that habit shift for you that you can make? Is it, for some of you, that is hiring the right assistant or hiring the right person to run your calendar because you're disorganized and always running wild. What's that piece that can shift for you? All right. So as you're identifying what that habit shift is for you this week, I want you to, let's get at least 5 of you. Type it in the chat. What's a habit change that you can identify? Mike says listing the most important daily actions in the morning rather than just diving in first. I like that. I'm going to actually share something on that, Mike, because that strikes a chord with me, because I am very much I don't have time for this prep crap. I'm going to get on the freaking phones. Now, I will tell you, some people plan all day and never get to the thing. So don't be that person either. But at the same time, 10 minutes of prep. You're at the gym, you get down at the gym, you come shower, you got your phone waiting, you need to be responding to people. Don't allow yourself to push it off, but say, hey, it's 7:50 a.m. I am going to sit at my desk for 15 minutes. I'm going to leave my phone in the other room, and I'm going to write down my most important daily action steps for today. I'm going to write down some gratitude today. I assure you that starting at 8:05 rather than 7:45 with a properly planned day, and this is what I'm talking about with leverage. When you begin to put things in an organized fashion, you ever open a new box of kids' toys, like building blocks or something? You open the new box and you get them out, they fit perfectly, and then you throw them back in, and there's still half of the blocks laying out on the floor. What the heck happened? The box shrunk. Why? Because they was not organized properly. So when you begin to look at your day that way and you say, you know what, we're just diving in, we're just throwing crap in, saying I've got to do all this crap, that's exactly what's happening. So if we can take 15 minutes and we can organize, does it take a little longer when you're picking up those kids' blocks to put them in an organized fashion? Of course. But it's a whole lot less stressful when you get to the end and they're actually all in the freaking box like they're supposed to be. Also, of course, imagine you're playing a card game and you have them scattered all over the table. You just grab them and stuff them in the box. Not going to work. You got to stack them up properly. So when you're doing that, you begin to organize and visualize your day. So for my action brains, organized. For my organized thinker brain people, be okay being disorganized. Just get on the freaking phones. You see what I'm saying? By identify your leverage point, identify that hang up for you. All right. Habit change. Doing the studying I need to do. Good. This is a very important one. How can I make learning fun to me? Right? How can I make learning fun to me? So for example, if I just want to learn about something and I go watch the six-figure cash flow thing inside of Circle, as many of you have, okay, that's a great education piece. Some of you have great attention spans and you could sit there and listen for 2 hours. Some of you have shorter attention spans and you're going to go, crap, I need to be doing stuff. So number one, you can write down actionables. You can take it in bite size. Number two, you could say, hey, I'm going to be driving for an hour today. I'm going to listen to that. Instead of listening to music today, right? I'm going to listen to an education piece. And at the end, I'm going to have to give myself at least 3 actionables from an hour I listened to. So I can't let my mind wander. You see what I'm saying? You're identifying your hangups and you're removing them. Some of you are saying delegation. David says delegation. Sylvia says delegation. I like that. So how do we start delegating? Because sometimes, and I am not aware, David or Sylvia, if you're having this challenge, but I know for me, I have had the challenge where I go, I just need to delegate crap. And then I find myself doing it all. So how do I shift that? Well, for me, I go, if you're in a home office, I take a big blank sheet of paper. It's a napkin, but it's close enough. A big blank sheet of paper because I'm in a hotel today. And I say, can my assistant do this? And I write it and I lay it down in a big bold letters right beside me. So the whole time I'm on my computer, I'm doing stuff. I'm looking over saying, can my assistant do this all freaking day? And about half the time, the answer is yes. That's the first way. If you're moving all over, you're driving, or you're having a difficulty doing that way, the other way I begin to delegate is I say, you know what? I look at my list for today that I made. And I say, what is one thing on this list I could hand off to my assistant? Do I really need to text that person to schedule the timing, or could my assistant do that? Now, even if you don't have an assistant, you can start putting assistant duties on your list. And now when you do get an assistant, you can know, hey, the calendar thing's the first to go. The email thing's the second to go. Right? You can immediately begin identifying the handoff of what you can do to get back your time. All right, I have so much more to cover, but I want to make sure that I am in alignment with what you all are needing today. So I want to ask you, let's see, who should I ask? Valerie, is this making sense? All right, good. Getting a thumbs up from Valerie. Veronica, is this making sense? I hope that was a yes, because the arrow's over part of your, oh yes, we're getting a yes. All right, good, good, good. The arrow's over part of Veronica's screen, so I couldn't tell at first. All right, good. So here's the next thing I want to point out for you. Write this down. Get to a conclusion. This is a very important systematic framework shift for all of you. Get to a conclusion. What do I mean with that? It's easy to stay in the land of I should. Man, I know I should get an assistant. I know I should put down my daily important action. I should start planning. Well, I'll do that once I get done with the move, and I'll do that once I get my office set up, and I'll do that once I get I needed to get that new MacBook. I really need to get that set up because that would really make my life easy, but maybe I'll do that the next week or two. We get all of these things that we're gonna do. Anybody ever been there? Type it in the chat yes if you've been there. I won't ask you if you're there now. We won't shame you publicly, all right? I think we've all been there, right? So we immediately start putting these things off. So how do we do this on the I've been very bad at this in the past of doing this on a team meeting. Leo called me out on this. I would say, let's do X. Well, everybody on the team, nobody knows who let's is. So unless somebody claims let's, then nobody knows to do it. Except when I say, hey, I can handle that today at 3. Diana, can you add that to my calendar? When I say, hey, Paul, do you have the capacity today to take that project on and give me a report? Boom. Do you have, Ahmed, is that something you can handle? Michelle, boom. Now immediately we just got to a conclusion, didn't we? Everyone is clear. What is happening next? This is a habit you need when you're on the phone with sellers. Because if you're on the phone with a seller and you just do nothing but make friends with hundreds of sellers, you're going to be broke and have a lot of friends. All right. So our objective is not to have hour-long friend calls with sellers. Our objective is to get to the conclusion. Are we professional? Yes. Are we nice? Yes. Are we, of course, we make a friendship. We make a connection. Those are all good things. But the objective of this call is to get to a conclusion. There's only 1 of 3 conclusions. 1, yes, send contract. 2, no, cuss you out, never talk to you again, which to me is a maybe. 3 is let's follow up, right? I need to talk to my wife, I need to talk to my husband. I'm not ready yet. I want to give it longer on the market. I need whatever, right? So now there's a follow-up. Awesome. Would it be better if I call you back later today or tomorrow? Right? So how do we get to a conclusion? Well, I really need to get an assistant. I really need to delegate. Okay, cool. What is one thing you could delegate to someone today? Do you have someone to delegate it to? Have you heard the 7 questions, the 7-question rule? Write it down, 7-question rule. In other words, I need to delegate more of my stuff. Awesome. Who would you delegate it to? Well, an assistant. Awesome. Do you have an assistant yet? No, not yet. Cool. What does that mean you need to do? I need to hire an assistant. Okay, cool. Where would you go? What would you do to hire an assistant? Well, I guess I would post up an ad or go on social media. Awesome. So what do you need to do to get that ad? Well, I guess I need the copy for that ad. What should I say? Awesome. So how would you go about getting that copy? Well, I guess I would make a list of all the things I've been writing down that my assistant could do. Very cool. So now we're getting somewhere. So what are your to-dos? My to-dos are look at my list of what my assistant could do from the notes I've been making, write the ad, and post it. Cool. How long will that take? 15 minutes? Probably. Can you do that today? Yes. Okay. Then schedule 15 minutes. Do you have time at 4 p.m. today? Boom. Now we have an actionable. All right. So for all of you, I want you to think about what is your actionable. What you already identified the thing you need to do, the habit you need to change. What's an actionable you can take before the end of today? All right. What's an actionable you can take before the end of the day that starts to move the needle? A needle moving action. You can write that down. Needle moving action is. What is your needle moving action that will start to move the needle on? I need to delegate. I need to X. I need to get more leads. I need to get more leads. Cool. Where are you going to get the leads from? I don't know. Cool. So you need to find out where to get the leads. Yes. How would you do that? Go to Circle. Perhaps there's a guy on there who's done a whole video of 15 or 20 lead sources, and there's an investor toolbox available to all of you for free as to what we would use. Awesome. You see how the brain works here. This is a very important foundation. My Boss Slow and my Freedom Life people know this because we're here to help you implement and with accountability. We provide all the resources for free. We provide the information for free. We want you guys to know what to do. Now, do we hire accountability and spend 6 figures a year doing so? Absolutely. It's that important to us. Should be that important to you, except we all have to make a start and say, where are we going to go and what's our next action step? So if today is learning where to get the leads, then plan 30 minutes this afternoon to do that. So tomorrow you can implement ordering your signs or posting the ad online or whatever the heck you're going to do to get leads or messaging the 20 people on Facebook Marketplace. All right. So I want to do something real quick. Let's see. I want to bring up let's do this. Type your actionable in the chat. What is the actionable? What is the thing that you can do today to start implementing that habit? You just went through these 7 questions with me. You should know your actionable. Type your actionable in the chat. Call potential PLs. Good. Got on Circle today. Way to go, Tony. Veronica, finish placing ads. Absolutely. Cindy, look in Circle for lead sources. Awesome. Paul, if you could please note down to post the investor toolbox in the Circle, and please note down to post the link of me doing the video on the Facebook leads in the Circle. If you could just remind me of that, I can actually post them. I just need a reminder. David, start creating SOPs. Good. Mike, schedule time on calendar for daily planning. Awesome. So here's a challenge I'm going to give to you. Mike, yours is super simple. I challenge you while you're here at the risk of losing your attention for 60 seconds, that you go put a daily repeating schedule on your Google Calendar right now that says daily planning. Give me a thumbs up if you can do that. Way to go. All right. This is good. Tim, follow up with PLs. Good. So that would be determining who your private lenders are, if you haven't already done so, and making that list starting to dial. Mary, Amanda, take action now. Call follow-up leads in between and other tasks without hesitation. Good. Jerry, to get ads out for leads. Christy, make more calls. I challenge you, Christy, to set a number on that, because more calls could mean 1 to you, or it could mean 101. And if you're a person who's very hard on yourself and you don't set a specific number, you'll always feel like you didn't do quite good enough. And if you're someone who's too easy on yourself, then you'll always pat yourself on the back because at least you did one. So be very specific. Desired outcome, back into the number, hold yourself accountable. Making a list for assistants to do. Good. And Tim says, look at all of my lead sources and call 10 of the leads I find. Absolutely. Figure out what this circle thing is, Megan. We got you. If you don't mind, Paul, right now, go ahead and post in the chat for everyone the circle link. For anybody who's not on circle, for any of my new people on here, or you've only been here a couple days and haven't learned about circle. Circle is where we all hang out, where I post updates about the market, where I post my opinions. Sometimes you'll agree with them, sometimes you won't, and that's okay because I'm cool with people disagreeing with me. And we used to all be cool with that. And maybe one day soon we will all be cool with it again. At least that's my prayer. I post things about the market. I'm not always right, but I'm always confident. That was a joke. So I post things about the market. I post things about lead sources. I post what's working for us. I post what's not working for us. I post a lot of cool stuff in here. People are posting wins. People are connecting. There's some cool trainings. There's some cool resources. So make sure all of you are on Circle, and it's absolutely free. So 2 more notes before we wrap up today. My gosh, how time has flown. I want to bring up some winners this week since we're about out of time today. I want to ask you, and let's see if we have a way to capture this. If you have gotten in the last 56 days, a contract signed, a deal closed, buying it, or a check, lease optioning or selling a deal. Contract, a deal closed, or a check. Type me in the chat. Type me, M-E, me. All right. Do we have a way to capture this, Paul? I want to grab out a couple of winners. So make sure you're here every day this week because I'm going to be randomly bringing up some winners, and I want to hear how this has happened for you. My prayer would be all of you who are doing deals that it just makes you very proud. For those of you who are not yet got a deal, but you're putting in the work, that you're encouraged. And for those of you who are new here, you're the only ones I'm going to categorize separately. And all of you who have been here and who just ain't doing the darn thing yet, that you feel absolutely ashamed and that you start doing the thing tonight. Another joke. All right, never mind. So for all of you, I want you to take action. All right, type it in the chat. Take action now. Take action now. I'm going to get to questions in 1 more second. I have 2 more notes I need to share with you. Take action now. Type it in the chat. All right, we got lots of me's. Make sure if you don't care, Paul, you can get me that link, or excuse me, that list tonight, because I'm going to randomly grab these people out this week.
Yep, we got it.
Thank you so much. Everybody give Paul a virtual hand. Paul is amazing. So for all of you, I'm out here in LA right now, and I want to share this. It's very important being in the right rooms. I was talking about that today. And I say that not just from rah-rah. I say that from the reality that I live in, me and Leo both live in. And we spend a lot of time. You know, we had the wonderful opportunity to give out, I believe it's about 250 backpacks to kids filled with school supplies on Sunday. And seeing the joy on their faces was so freaking amazing. There was a huge line, and it was just a very neat experience to see how much it meant to them. And I share that because being in the right rooms around high-level people doesn't mean it's only about the money. It just means that you're around high-level people and you get to do a lot of cool stuff together. It's a different way of thinking. If you're taking notes, write that down. It's a different way of thinking. That is the make or break. That is changes everything. In fact, we can do way more good when we have more money. So we're in this room, we're hanging out with these high-level people. We're spending the weekend masterminding. We're meeting business owners of all sorts. We had, I'll should time permit this week, I'll tell you about some of the cool people we got to have dinner with last night and some of the very exciting things they are doing. My objective is, and as you're going to see more and more as you continue to hang around this community, around Leo and myself and the others, you're going to continue to see your brain begin to expand in ways you didn't even know was possible. And it's going to expand far beyond just getting a contract and getting a check. That is a cool thing. It's going to expand to building the team of your dreams, to living the life of your dreams. Your brain's going to begin to say, oh my gosh, literally these minor changes could allow me to give in a way that I've never gave before. Allow me to live in the place I actually want to live in instead of where I believe I can afford or what I need to be. Actually put myself in the rooms I want to be around the right people rather than who it's convenient to be around or who I think I need to be around, right? So for all of you, I want you to be able to control your life in a way that you live your purpose fully. All right. So many more exciting things to share with you. We are out of time. Do we have any questions today, Paul? We can take maybe 2 or 3 questions before we wrap up.
Right. I think we have one. Let's pull this one up. First question today. It's exciting to see everybody on here, right? We are day 56, final week. So many wins. So congratulations to everybody who has closed a deal or got a contract. First question here, Andrew, is one that came through the other day, but we didn't have a chance to ask it, and it is from I believe it's Jason, and he says, from a tax standpoint, is it better to operate my business, when I'm buying on terms and selling on terms out of my S corp as opposed to a multi-member LLC?
There are benefits to an S corp. I do not know your whole financial scope, your W-2, all of those pieces. Meet with your CPA and ask him exactly what you need. Or if you booked a call with PCS, if you was here on last week when we had PCS on, make sure that you book a call with them because they'll be able to answer all those tax questions specifically based on your tax bracket and what you have going on.
All right. And this may be another question for PCS. What is the maximum you could let your business rent your house for? Yes.
Yeah, PCS was talking about the event type rental and talking about 14 days a year max. So that is the kind of a price range. I always ask myself when I go to do something like this, would I want to argue my point in front of, whether it's a legal thing in front of a jury, if it's a tax thing in front of the IRS, right? And so a lot of sense comes into play there saying, hey, probably wouldn't make sense if my house is worth $1 million that my business would pay me $1 million a year to rent it. I'm being extreme, but you get the point. So it would make sense to say, okay, if anybody else was renting it for this type of use, would it be comparable to this? So again, CPA, ask PCS if it's a specific question. If it's more of a generalized and you want to ask your local CPA, that's an opportunity too.
All right. Next question here. Let's see. Looks like it just disappeared. How do you overcome seller objections with veterans who want their entitlement returned ASAP?
Again, I only do deals if they're win-wins. Option 1, of course, is to buy it if they are in a position to take out another loan. I, before, have taken over a VA loan and then gave them X dollars down so they could go get an FHA or a traditional loan of sorts, whoever their lender told them they could get. That's an option. Of course, other options are to put a balloon period in, but I would need to know the specifics about the deal because our objective is to make sure we can make good money with bad numbers, that the seller is winning and getting what they need, and that, of course, our tenant buyer in the end wins and gets to own a home.
All right, last question was from Beverly. I just posted that link in the chat for you, Beverly. She was wondering what is the name of the cheap signs place, and that is supercheapsigns.com.
Awesome. Guys, we have a jam-packed day tomorrow. Again, I have a list. I'm not joking when I say it's more than I can get through the rest of this week, but this is so awesome. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for continuing to be here as we're wrapping up the final week of our 60 Days to Deals series. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Bye for now.